Hang on. I am now officially. Hang on. I am now looking at plane flights to New Orleans. Hold on for a minute. Super Bowl tickets. Okay. I want to make sure we're 55 days away from the Super Bowl. Are you ready? Have you purchased your Super Bowl tickets? Dude, 12-2, 9 days out till Christmas. Now it's time to go get your Super Bowl tickets. You're 12-2. You're the best team in the league. Go get those tickets. Have you bought them? Holy cow, I can't believe Eagle fans haven't bought their Super Bowl tickets yet. Have you? By the way, I put a poll up over on my X account. Let me see how that bad puppy's. I said, Eagle fans, have you bought your Super Bowl tickets yet? Let me see how this bad puppy's going. Can you imagine Bills and Eagles in the Super Bowl also? Could you imagine the fan bases? Let me see where we are right now here. Here we are. Oh, look at all the Eagle fans. They're starting to buy their Super Bowl tickets. Super Bowl bound Philadelphia Eagles. How you doing? By the way, we always start the program off with big SILZ. And first 15 minutes, guys, please do me a favor. Hit the like button. You get a chance to spread your show around. Hey, I want to tell you a little secret here. And I just told Zander this. I went and saw my daughter play rugby over the weekend on Saturday. And I had a guy from iHeart come up to me and say, you guys over at JAKIB are killing it. Can we be involved? It's a true story. That's a true story. And I said, excuse me, I have to get back to SILZ on suicide watch. What are you talking about? It's December 16th. Maverick, what the fuck have you won? Admiration and the top seed in the NFL. You've won dick, doo-doo, nothing. Big SILZ. Hit that like button. You've won nothing. 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 Look at this. Hey, arguably the best team, Jessica? Oh, no, Jessica. You're not getting off that simple, Jessica. Oh, no. We have a mandate. Because now you have officially become the best team in the NFL. Guess what? It's time. That's what you wanted to see. How you doing? Oh, I'm sure the passing has... Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to bury my topics. Hey, I just missed the super, Zander. Can we please, all supers, absolutely go to the top? Absolutely. 49.9 followers, so close to 50K. Jacob's the best. Let's push that bitch over 50 today. SILZ Josh Allen looks great. Josh Allen has locked up the MVP. The NFL's most valuable player is in Buffalo, New York. How you doing? As predicted by Big SILZ. In a row. Woo! That is amazing. We're going to give you our takeaways. We're also going to go by the numbers. All supers go to the top. The first 15 is the open, and the only way we deviate off the open is with Super Chat. So it's the only way we got to go sideways a little bit. Other than that, first 15, please hit that like button. So we will have it by the numbers. Our takeaways, bunch of topics. Eagles getting bounced in the first round of Baker. How about Baker Mayfield? Hey, by the way, the Buccaneers have won 4 in a row, and they've beaten both Detroit and Philly. How you doing? How you doing? Hey, if you're Tampa, you beat the top 2 seeds 10 in a row. Hey, they beat both Detroit and Philly. Impressive win, but I still think Jalen has not reached his ceiling yet. He has no ceiling. There remains room for continued growth. Absolutely not. He is what he is. And we're going to get to all this. Okay? We are. So let me get to my takeaways. We got so much to get to today. Please hit the like button, guys. Here it is right here. Okay? So much. Okay? Look at JoJo. The Bucks are lucky. After they throttled you and they beat Detroit, they're lucky. Okay. Yeah. Too bad they've beaten you twice in a row, the Bucks. And by the way, in convincing fashion. All right. Hey. Let's start this off. 27-13 win by the Philadelphia Eagles over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Please hit the like button. Let's flash back something here. December 18th, a couple days from now, a year ago, you guys were in the midst of a 3-game losing streak. You had just been beaten in that meltdown up in Seattle. And you had just lost 3 games. That team and this team, fast forward, completely different. Completely different team. And I'll tell you why here in a minute. Okay? Was an excellent performance. Holding the ball in the second half for over 24 minutes, including the final 10:30, is huge, especially with Dickerson out in the second half. That was an amazing drive. I mean, Mike Tomlin decided to punt it. They never got the ball back. That's how you beat the fuck out of teams. It was it's your most impressive win, maybe since Buffalo of a year ago. I mean, even more so than the Ravens. That's a well-coached team and a good team that you kicked the shit out of. That I never really thought. I mean, the Najee Harris fumble. Let me go into it. You had the team 17-3 with 2 turnovers, and it never looked close. It never looked like Pittsburgh had the talent to hang with you. Pittsburgh had to do everything to claw and scratch just to hang in that thing, and I think that had a lot to do with Mike Tomlin. Eagles were just better all around. Even with the turnovers, the sacks, it didn't matter. Even with the Steelers, and I said that they would stop Barkley, they did. I mean, 65 yards, stopping them, okay. That's still a decent game. It's not an awful game, but he got nicked up a bit, and the quarterback did take over. Here. I mean, they just look completely like not in the same room with Philadelphia. I think that defense for the Steelers is a damn good defense. That's the best defense you've beaten all year. And, I mean, get this, and you did it convincingly. They did a good job stopping the run, but you still had over 100 some odd yards rushing the football because of the quarterback. Jake Elliott. When we saw Jake Elliott sighting, that was so big to get him on track. And Nick to let him go for those, long kicks, good for him. You're going to need that in the playoffs if you're going to want to go through the tape. You're going to need all 3. Hey, look, you want to win a Super Bowl. You can't win it one-dimensionally. Great defense, not very good offense, no good special. You got to have all of that. You don't have to be spectacular at it, but you got to be good at everything and every single unit. You have to be good offensively. You have to be good defensively. You have to be good in special teams. And that game against the Steelers, they were good. I mean, look, some special teams, what's his name? Cooper DeJean ended up taking a big hit. That was a big-time hitting football game that you went through against the Steelers. That was big boy hitting. I mean, that was absolutely gigantic hitting in that game. Please hit the like button, guys. I mean, they were absolutely some big hits in that ball game. It's good to see Elliott. The passing game for the first time this season had its best game. In week 15, they had their best passing game. Okay? Probably the best passing game they've had in a year and a half. That was the best. Pretty much throughout the year, it's not been great. It's been average at best. Sirianni outcoached Tomlin. No, he didn't. Sirianni had more talent on his football team than Mike Tomlin. It's a fucking stupid comment. There's no place on the planet that Sirianni's a better coach than Mike Tomlin. Stop it. It's a better constructed football team in Philadelphia. It's not a better coach team. It's a more constructed team. For Pittsburgh to even hang in that game like they did, I mean, at the end of the day, they had no right even hanging in that game. Sirianni does not outcoach Mike Tomlin. Plain and simple. Win a Super Bowl, we'll have a different conversation. I thought Kenny Gainwell had a really good game. And Kenny Gainwell, in my opinion, I think he picked up the mail when Saquon Barkley got knocked out pretty much in the second quarter. And I thought Kenny played pretty well. It was a good substitute. Can you sustain that if you lose a guy like that? Like Detroit has lost David Montgomery? No, I don't think so, but that was really good to see. It was important. The defense continues to absolutely, it's the best unit on your football team. Your defense is better than your offense. You know why? They've done it all year. That was the best and most complete game you had offensively all year. The defense has been doing that shit all season long. Dude, they took out Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Who would have thought this? I mean, you could sweep the AFC North and the NFC East. That's fucking insane. That's really great. Jalen Hurts, the best he's looked in over a year and a half, was his best passing game that he's had. Okay? That was the best passing game of the year for him, and it's the best passing game that he's had in over a year and a half. In my estimation, where you went, he's hitting everything in stride. The sacks, I get it. Still something to keep an eye on because, again, he's now at 38. He holds the ball, and I thought even Tom Brady pointed it out. He says, hey, some of these guys are open. He just needs to let it rip. And then when they up-tempoed it, in my opinion, he's better in quick tempo. When they speed the game up, he's better than when they just sit back and go through cadence. Like you said, took time for them to figure it out. Again, I don't know if you figured it out yet. I haven't seen it at a consistent basis yet for it to be said that it's figured out. You can't fucking make a proclamation like that the passing game is fixed off of 60 minutes. That's not the case here. Look, your defense is the best defense in the NFL because of why? Consistency all year long of playing like that. That's how you make that proclamation. You don't make proclamations off of one game. That's dumb as shit, man. That's not how that works. You don't make proclamations off of 60 minutes of football. I told you the defense better than the offense. Again, I'm glad that you, Flexen, think that the defense was better than the offense. Me and both Vic Fangio said we thought it would take till week 12, but the team has actually played better and got better. So you knew more than me and Vic Fangio. So congratulations to you. Well done. It took AJ and Devontae to get on Jalen Hurts' ass for him to pass them the ball. Even with the loss, Pittsburgh still got a playoff spot. Listen, Pittsburgh has not near the talent that Philadelphia has. And that was completely on display in everything. Even when you had mistakes, sacks, turnovers, it didn't matter. It just didn't matter. Pittsburgh has no skill set people to challenge anybody. I mean, I don't know how they beat Baltimore. I really don't. That defense, I said it in the postgame show, it's the best defense in football. They've made it. It's clear. You know why? Body of work. That's how I give you your kudos. Is your body of work, not 60 minutes of football. Defense wins championships. Live and die by this. I think you win championships by playing defense, and I think you have to run the ball as well. I do. Let's see. So again, I mean, Quinyon Mitchell is having a heck of a season. He really is. I found out something about the dust-up on the sidelines, and I won't tell you who told me, but the dust-up on the sidelines was competitive juices. It's a nothing burger. You know me. I like to make more shit out of things, and I'm a king of it, and I know that I start trash cans on fire, but I would be doing a disservice because I know what happened. You know, when Jalen Carter slapped the Steeler guy in the head, the referees was a clear, maybe it was a makeup because of all the shitty calls they had against the Eagles in that game. Because once again, the NFL officiating was awful in that game, especially most notably towards Philly, and they're at home. By far, Pittsburgh should have got a first down and held the ball, but for whatever reason, it's human error. Philadelphia ends up getting the ball. So Nick was pissed. And Nick was going to go over and tell Jalen Carter again about his emotions. You know, he's addressed this before in the sidelines. And so, you know, he went over and he wanted to get in his face. And all this came down to was Jalen Carter and Clint Hurt. He was protecting his guy. He had already gotten in his ass, and he didn't want the head coach. Again, I think Clint stepped over his bounds a little bit. If the head coach wants to say something to one of his players, he is the head coach. Okay. But Nick didn't want to make more of a scene on the sidelines. Big Dom got in the way there, and everything was settled. And Clint Hurt has apologized, from what I understand, to the head coach for some of the language that was said back and forth. So it's a nothing burger. Shit like that happens. That's what I was told happened. Okay. And it's been resolved. It's nothing. They're moving forward. Nothing is. Clint's a great coach. Hence the fact that how good you are on defense, especially in your defensive line. Clint's coaching that. Clint's influence on the game plan for Vic Fangio. There's no doubt you got two defensive coordinators on the Philadelphia Eagles this year. Say it with me, SILZ. Jalen's elite. No, he's not. Jalen Carter, a.k.a. Mean Joe Green. Look, he's played great. He's absolutely played great this year. He should be the all-pro defensive tackle. So just to put a bow on that, it's competitive juices. It's really a nothing burger. And if Clint Hurt says that, and everyone else in that locker room says that, you take it for what it is at face value. Nobody's going to bullshit or lie about something like that. However, I do believe, that Clint stepped over the line. If your head coach wants to say some shit to you and a defensive line coach gets in the way of that, you got to know your place. And I think Clint, having been a D coordinator all those years, he's a really strong-willed man. And so is Nick. That's okay. It's okay. It's of all the drama you had a week ago, that means nothing at the end of the day. So I let it rest. And I don't really think, again, the problem I have is that if some media people look at Jalen Carter and go, there's his character again, that's not anything like that. Okay? He slapped a guy in the helmet. Shit like that happens, dude. It happens. He's a rough player. He's got a nice mean streak to him. Good. Get this. Can I tell you guys something? And I'll move on from this. Wouldn't you rather pull Jalen Carter off the ledge with playing aggressive than pushing him to it? I told Clint Hurt, don't coach that out of him. Keep that in there. I want a fucking nasty guy in there. Okay? I want a nasty guy. I want that guy. I want to coach that guy. Don't coach that out of him. Okay? Don't coach that out of him. I stay elevated. What you don't want to do, though, is do stupid shit in critical situations. And you just want the player to be smart. It's okay, he's still a young guy. There's no reason to double bam him. From the D-line coach, dude, if Clint Hurt, I'm sure Clint Hurt got in his fucking ass. And then Nick's coming over one. There's no reason to pile on that. I agree. It needs to be more consistent. I'm saying I think Kellen finally understands how Jalen's strengths and weaknesses with the passing game is all. We're going to get to all that. I promise you, my friend. It was his best performance in a year and a half. You could see the camera looking at the sidelines the whole game. It's like there was looking for a problem now on the media around with it. Hey, Lord's Grace, it's a nothing burger. It's just, in my opinion, that was a nothing burger on the sideline. And I'm the king of making something out of something. Nothing here to see. By the way, I'm actually glad that I got a player like Jalen Carter that has a nasty streak like that. I want that. Okay? I don't want to have to motivate my player to be mean in a game. I want him to play mean. I want him to play nasty with a veracity like that. That's an asset. Don't coach that out of him. Okay? That's a phenomenal comparison. Dude, that's a phenomenal comparison right there on what you just said. Dude, Ndamukong Suh played his entire career like that. And he was a dominant force in the middle. People were afraid of him. I want guys afraid of your D tackles. That's what you're wanting your guys to play like. Holy shit, not those two dudes. Here those two dudes come. So play it up good. By the way, the next opponent, Washington, knows now you got a guy that plays like that, going to slap the shit out of you. You start doing stupid shit in the middle. Hey, man, that creates an aura and a swagger about your D-line. Fucking embrace that. You're talking to the ultimate guy who was part of some of that shit back in the day with Coach John. Don't build that up. Don't break it down. I don't want Nick going over there fucking that up. That's what Clint Hurt knows. You don't coach that down. Look, I'm not saying you make stupid mistakes, but I want to coach that. Okay? I want to coach that Jalen Carter attitude. I want to see the guy behind me. I want you to have that. Dude, I don't want to beat you. I want to murder you. That's the mentality. Obviously, it's a figurative. It's something that you're not really thinking of doing, but you got to have a mentality like you want to be a murderer out there. Nobody gets away from it. Nobody gets by me without paying a price. That's the kind of shit you want, that tenacity. Okay? Don't look down on that. I know you're going to have media people go, you can't have that. I get the hey, I like it. I like it. I embrace it. I want my defensive tackles to be known for being mean, nasty, aggressive. Don't push me around. Hey, I don't want to be known for, well, he's fundamentally skilled and he's really a good player and he's a heck of a guy. I don't fucking want that. I don't care. What I want is somebody like Jerome that was just a crazy, screaming, mad dog. I want dogs. Yeah, so you want that. Please hit the like button, guys. Lane Johnson had a tough day. TJ Watt was circling around with him like he was a turnstile. Nick got beat up a little bit in that ball game. It was a heck of a battle between the both of them. If I had to give a grade, I'd probably go First half, maybe a little bit more on Lane. The second half, it was TJ, and then TJ got injured. So that was a hell of a battle between those two men, TJ Watt and Lane Johnson. That's as good as it gets when you're talking about one-on-one competition between a guy who's going to the Hall of Fame and another guy who's going to the Hall of Fame. It was fucking great, man. I mean, it got to a point where Lane Johnson was tackling TJ Watt because he was just I don't know how Jalen Hurts held on to the football too. I thought he strip sacked him. I did. I thought he got around that horn, and I thought he was strip sacked. I did. I mean, man, was he just a force out there. And he is as advertised. That guy's the best pass rusher in pro football. Holy shit. Can he play? And you know what, man? I know his brother JJ was great, but I don't know if his brother was better than him. That was a iconic gladiator, Roman Coliseum type battle that you would pay to go watch every week. Both guys are great, high-end football players. Wow. Dude, I kept my eyeballs on that matchup the entire time on how good those two guys were battling like that. What an absolute. Got him on a couple false starts, too. Lane got him, too, man. Don't sit here and think I don't think he got him, too. That's just great. TJ Watt. I think TJ Watt's better than JJ. What a great football player. Two exceptional. That was must-watch television, was watching Lane Johnson and TJ Watt go after each other. Holy shit. By the way, Calcaterra, you got to do a better job when you're over there chip blocking him. You can't give him a shoulder, dude. He's going to destroy your quarterback when you do that shit. You look like Brock Purdy, man. Do a better job. Get the fuck over there and hit that guy. The guy gave him a shoulder block, and he nailed Hurts in the backfield. And you're like, got to be better, son. You're not going to block him with a shoulder push. You're just not. That was a shitty job by him. And why I'm concerned with that is that your quarterback got hit on that play. Okay? Quarterback got hit on that play. Can't let your quarterback get hit like that. Okay? I mean, when you have tight ends like they did with Reddick, and you put a running back on somebody and there's a shitty block, get your quarterback destroyed. Hey, SILZ, Gannon had us in the Super Bowl, and we led the league in sacks, and he didn't make it through the tape. Do you trust Vic to make it through? Ace, we're going to get to all of this. I promise you. Okay, I want to get through my takeaways. That Najee fumble was the only thing that was keeping Pittsburgh kind of close. If they go in and score there, they tie the game. I still never felt that, even if they tied it, that they were going to win. You know, I think it was just good coaching that kept them in it. Philadelphia had better talent all across the board in that game yesterday. I mean, they dominated them. Let's take a look at the numbers. I mean, they dominated a really good and well-coached Pittsburgh team. Okay? Here. And this spells it all out, how much they dominate. I'm not sure I've ever seen Pittsburgh dominated like that. That's a great franchise. That is a well-coached franchise. It's been for over 60 years. A well-coached team. It was dismantled. By the way, 27-13, you could probably put another 7 on there. It would have been 34-13. I thought it was great respect that Nick Sirianni had for Mike Tomlin by not jamming that in at the end down there. I don't know. I might have jammed one in on him because you never know if point difference is going to be a problem because all these teams now are bunched in at 12 wins in the NFC. You don't know if they'll go to points scored or if that becomes a metric. You have no idea how this is going to play out yet. I think it favors Philly because I don't really think Philly after Washington, and not that I think Washington will beat you, but after Washington, I think they have the favorable schedule compared to what Detroit and Minnesota has over in the NFC. First downs. This is absolute domination. The Eagles held them to 10 first downs. You held a Steeler team to 10 first downs. That is absolutely insane. And get this. You know why you make these comments like this today? It's December 16th. Last year, you were falling apart. Now, you're holding a team to 10 first downs and a 10-win Steeler team to 10 first downs. Fucking incredible. Here, 3 of 10 on third down. You were 10 of 17. Hurts was spot on. Here's another number. That's just insane. So the Steelers only ran 41. I'm not sure. I can't remember when I've seen 40 plays run. 40 plays. 77. You had the ball 2-1. Here, look at this. Are you telling me that the Philadelphia fucking Eagles had the ball for 40 minutes of a 60-minute ball game? There's no chance of winning. There's just a zero chance of winning. 40 minutes they had of a 60-minute NFL football game. Man, that's rough. By the way, the running attack, I don't know. Didn't seem, you looked down, you went, they ran the ball for 131 yards. Held the Steelers to 56. Total yards. I mean, Pittsburgh had 163 yards in total offense. That is waxing somebody. You took out the whipping board and beat the fuck out of them. Man, what an ass beating. Russell Wilson, 14 of 22, 128, and a touchdown. I mean, you're not beating Philly with that. Hurts, 25 of 32, 290, and 2 touchdowns. It's his best game in a year and a half. And it's clearly his best all-around game. That's his best game since the Super Bowl. I'm good with that. It's his best game since the Super Bowl. The problem is he's only done this one time since the Super Bowl. Okay, it was a great performance. Hasn't played like that all year. We're going to talk about it here. Held Harris, 6 carries, 14 yards. Hurts, 15 carries, 45 yards, and a touchdown. So Jalen had 335 total yards in the football game and 3 touchdowns. And was the reason they won that game. Saquon Barkley was not the reason. Calvin Austin, who Pittsburgh has no skilled people. 5 catches, 65 yards, whatever. AJ, 8 catches, 110, and a touchdown. Smith was awesome. Every time you needed a tough catch, there was Devontae. 11 for 109 and 1. And there's Kenny Gainwell. 3 catches for 40. Those 40 yards felt like 140. Every time they needed a big play, there he was. Defensively, here. You start here. Defensively, N'Kobe had 10 tackles, 7 solo. Really a good ball game. Zach Bond, the way that guy plays in space is ridiculous. SILZ Clinton, Nick, okay after the blow up. Trey, yes. It's friendly fire shit. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's a nothing burger. It really is. Hey, great coaches get on each other all the time like that. That's okay. Dude, I don't have a problem with anything that popped up on the sidelines like that. Actually, get this, man. Those guys want to fucking win. There's nothing wrong with coaches wanting to win and guys protecting their players. Nothing wrong with it. Hey, Carter's got to be smarter. Yes, he does. Checking at the right time, 22 and 23 were hot in September. This D is so physically compared to 23. They got dudes on D this year. The side was the problem. Look, I don't know if the side was the problem or the fact the side was not the problem. The problem was Matt Patricia. He was the problem. And the decision to yank him. He was 10-2 and beat all those great football teams as a coordinator. Hey, you lost to Tampa Bay, man. Okay? You've lost to Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Isn't it funny? You guys are taking out the AFC North and the NFC East, and you have a problem with the NFC South, one of the worst divisions in all of football. Nolan Smith had a great game. First time we've said that. 4-3-1 sack. Josh Sweat is having an absolutely great year. He has rebounded. I'll tell you one of the most important moves Howie Roseman made. You want to hear it? The move not to get rid of him. 2 moves that were important. The signing of Barkley and not moving Sweat were enormous. Josh Sweat's having a great year. Okay? A great year he's having. You know, I had forgotten to put my game balls down, so I'm going to do it live on the air here. And I'm not going to go coaches here. I'm just going to go players. If I had to give my number one game ball, this team tackles better in open space and runs to the ball like gang tackles. Absolutely. Sean, it was on display against Pittsburgh. You know how you know you have a good defensive football team? Count how many hats you have around the ball on every play. If your guys outnumber the next guys, okay, if they outnumber the guys, you know you got a gang tackling football team. Okay? All right? Yeah, Sean, we got this. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. And Zach Bond is the king of that in open space. He is really good in open space. If I'm going to give my number one game ball, who would I give it to? Who's the guy that I saw that was the star of that football game on Sunday? I will go Jalen Hurts. You got to understand something about me, okay? No matter if I think a guy has not played well or whatever, if a guy has a great football game, am I supposed to say he didn't? Just to make me sound better? That's not how I work. I've done this for 40 years. It's not how I work. That was Jalen's best game of the year. It's the first game this season I went, he was the reason they won. Okay? Number 2, A.J. Brown. He is, I'm sorry, I disagree with John. I think you could take Justin Jefferson, and I think you could take Jamar Chase. I'll take A.J. I don't know. He's physical. He knows how to block. He's impossible to defend on that slant. He's just impossible to defend. If you can't single cover him. He reminds me of Michael Irvin. It's like, he reminds me of Michael Irvin in the way he plays. So, number 1 game ball goes to Hurts. Number 2, no, he's not Megatron because he doesn't have the speed of Megatron or the speed of Moss. Don't start talking all-time guys. That's not where he is. He's not in that Megatron, Owens, and Jerry Rice. Don't do that because, I mean, that's a long way to go before you're in that room. Okay? That's a long way to go for a guy that's been really good for 3 years. Rice was great for 20. Looks like Davis is more motivated. Looking at Dean and Carter, Smith playing on fire, playing really well. Sean, thank you. Yes, absolutely, Sean. I completely agree. My number three. My number three game ball. I'm going to go Devontae. Tough catches. Absolutely was a ball player out there. Boy, man, they really took apart the secondary of the Steelers. He was really exceptional in that game. He was really exceptional. Number four, I got to tell you, man, Jordan Mailata continues to play his ass off. What a great football player Jordan Mailata is. He gets the game ball number 4. Exceptional, exceptional, exceptional left tackle game. Again, absolutely was awesome. Number 5, Jalen Carter. Look at who stepped up in this game against the Steelers. Hurts, Brown, Smith, Mailata, Carter. What's the one name we're missing? Barkley. And look how it looked. You dominated them. Last week, you ran the ball for 209, and you couldn't dominate Carolina. Here's my problem. And remember something, folks. Last week, you shit the bed against Carolina, and you look like shit. Now you turn around and show me how good you are against Pittsburgh. Well, who are you? Now you've won 10 in a row. So still, you got to go with the trend, right? You're always talking trends. Right. Right. AJ saying passing is just like the old line saying run the ball. Week to week for 10 weeks, whatever it takes. Okay? Thank you, Keith. Guys, please, all supers go to the top, and please hit the like button. SILZ, love this O-line. Steelers ran through us. I'm not sure where the Steelers ran through you. I thought the O-line, well, you had Dickerson in Lane Johnson out a lot of that ball game. Nice to see Q have Slays back, more like the whole team. Good to see that as well. I feel we didn't have that last year, a different mentality. Absolutely true. Gainwell gets a game ball. Gainwell, absolutely. That's a great one too. Big SILZ, I appreciate your honest take on the Birds on a weekly basis, especially on Jalen, diehard Eagle fan. We got to be honest when needed. You're a legend. Thank you so much, and I appreciate that. Guys, please hit the like button. I give justice due. By the way, that's a great take. Kenny Gainwell. Going to get my game ball number 6. Hurts 1, A.J. Brown 2, Devontae Smith 3, Mailata 4, Carter 5, Gainwell 6. Got to go to Kobe Dean 7. The Kobe gets a game ball. I'm going to go Josh Sweat. He gets a game ball. And I'm going to go Zach Bond. So here's Hurts, Brown, Smith, Mailata, Jalen Carter, Kenny Gainwell, Dean, Sweat, Bond, and if you want, you could drop Slay in there for number 10. All the big money guys played exceptional in that ball game. They were exceptional in that ball game. That's the best win they've had. And remember, here's why this is important for you guys to swallow here. It's December 16th. Okay? You're playing your best ball? Or you had your best game at the back end of a 10-game win streak? Take a look at Kansas City. Look at Detroit. Look at these teams. Not saying you're not nicked up. I mean, You took apart a good football team. Now, they were limited on offense, but they're not limited in coaching. That's a good defense. Personally, I think they're not as talented as the Ravens offensively, but they're a more balanced roster than the Ravens. Okay? Last year, you were falling apart. Now you're kind of trending up and continuing. The defense is insane. Okay? By the way, we're going to do something here in a second. And I've got some mandates. How many people in here believe the Philadelphia Eagles are the best football team in the NFL right now on December 16th? How many people believe you're the best? I think so. As of now, yes. Me. I heard about Montgomery. It's a huge loss. Yes. Okay. Right now, is Barkley shut down if Jalen was throwing? Yes. No question, Primo. William, no. Best. We're the best when we win it all, OG SILZ. Thank you. I'm with Cue Ball. Okay. Well, let's do this then. Let's do this then. No fucking excuses. This will be the determining factor if you're a great team this year or not. Here's what I am expecting from December 16th moving forward. If you are buying your Super Bowl tickets and you are making that proclamation that you're the best team in football, there's no fucking excuses now. Okay? Here we go. You win the Super Bowl or nothing. Super Bowl or bust. Especially if you're 15-2. Super Bowl or bust. And I don't want to hear anybody in here after or if, I'm not saying you are, or if you get beat when you're 15-2. Well, we had a really good. Fuck that. You're not graded on a bell curve. When we're talking championships, there's no bell curve. Well, we were kind of good. Okay? It's Super Bowl or bust. And I'm holding everybody's feet to the fire, and you hold mine to it. Because I said you couldn't do it. I'm going to hold every human being in here feet to the fire like you hold mine every week. Right? Fair? That's why we do this. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. By the way, let's push this fucking thing with JAKIB over 50 when it comes to our subscribers. Let's go, man. Where are we going here? Come on now. By the way, we're at 50 now. Fantastic. Congratulations, JAKIB. We're now at 50,000 subscribers. Way to go. That's all because of you guys. Thank you very much. Awesome stuff. Make no mistake about it. The Lombardi's ours. Okay, good attitude. There. That's prerequisite number one. Super Bowl or bust. By the way, 256 likes already in the first hour. Let's go. You're a Super Bowl team, right? Act like it. Okay? 15-2, finish up. Number 2. This is what I'm expecting. Okay? Home field advantage. Super Bowl or bust. 15-2. Home field advantage. Right? I agree. Home or away playoff game. This team can make the Super Bowl. Then you got to go against the eraser, Mahomes, who's banged up, by the way, ankle injuries week to week, to go through him to get the trophy. Anthony, if I'm the Eagles, I want him again. I want him. I want to play him. Nothing is a given. No fucking cop-outs. Super Bowl or bust. You're the best team on December 16th. Super Bowl or bust. You want to call yourself the best team? Act like the best fans. Have an attitude about yourselves. Passing game continues to improve. There's no low bar to accept here. You're either winning the Super Bowl or you're not. It's a failure season. If you go 15-2 and you get home field, how many? Let's do this. Did Baltimore have a failure season last year? They won 14 ball games last year. They had home field advantage, and they got beat at home in the AFC title game. What a colossal meltdown that was. Until Kansas City is dethroned, and they're 13-1, we are not the best team. We are one injury away from the season being over, a.k.a. Jalen Hurts. That's everybody in this league, okay? Mahomes is banged up right now. They lose Mahomes. Kansas City, in my opinion, Mahomes, they lose him. They're a 6-win football team. Big SILZ in the AFC who in the AFC can eliminate the Bills? The Bills. Allen's got to show up every week. He's the only thing they have. And by the way, real quick, just to put that in proper perspective on what you're saying, Josh Allen is slam dunk the MVP. He runs through the tape these next 3 weeks. Right now, Josh Allen is going to throw. He had 23 for 230 or 23 of 34 for 362 yards and 2 touchdowns and 68 yards rushing and 4. Last week he had 6 touchdowns. This week he had 4. He had 10 touchdowns in 2 weeks. He's going to throw for 4,200 yards, 31 touchdowns, 103 quarterback rating, and he's going to run for 600 yards and 13 touchdowns. And he's leading the NFL in QBR. And he's 11-3. He had 450 yards of total offense yesterday against the Lions team in Detroit. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Even, Lamar, I know it was the shitty Giants, but Lamar's going to throw for 4,400 yards, 41 touchdowns, 120 rating. He's going to run for 900 yards. Incredible. Both those players in what they've done. Right now, Barkley's probably slid down to 3rd, but Allen, Jackson are the 2 guys that'll fight this thing out to the end for the MVP award. Okay? Insane. Just insane. Hey, by the way, those are the 2 best players in the game. You're the best team in the game. Who would you rather be? Don't sweat it. You get the best team. Buffalo and Baltimore have the best players. Okay? I'd rather have the best team. I don't give a shit about that. Eagles winning it all. Our defense will hold Allen. Zander, I missed the super chat there before Khalil mistaken here. Real winners don't care for silver medals. That's right. Nobody wants participation medals. Nobody wants that. By the way, guys, we're at the top of the hour. Can you give me a total on our likes? Please keep hitting it. We're going to get to another topic here in a second. Zander's going to join us at 3:30. Then we are going to talk with Gary Cobb from Fox 29 in Philadelphia. That'll be at 4:30. By the way, tomorrow Marcus Hayes will be with us, and we will talk with him. That will be at 4:30, I believe. Okay? All right, so we appreciate it. Thank you guys very much. 289, great. We're gonna get to the other topics here in a second. All right, let's do this now. Guys, please hit the like button. 301 likes in the first hour. Thank you. Excellent. Excellent. By the way, one thing you will always get with us here. Your player plays well. Your team plays well. No matter what my fucking take is. It's a chapter in the year. You've won 10 in a row. You've made your claim on defense. You've made your claim on defense. The problem that you get with certain people around the Philadelphia media is this. Well, Kellen Moore sucks here. He's not very good. He's not doing this. And do I think Kellen Moore's improved the passing game? No. Did he improve the passing game on Sunday? Yeah. The player executed. So my question to you is, do you think 60 minutes of football has corrected the passing game? When all year long, it's been one of the worst passing games in football. This was my conversation. And again, John and I are on the same page with this. This is not to dismiss. I just went through a full hour of massive kudos for that great win against Pittsburgh. Okay? Do you think your passing game has been corrected with 60 minutes of football? Yes or no? Do you? You think one game can correct a passing game when you haven't done it all year but once? You've shown no consistency at all year. If they stick with Sunday's recipe, yes. Here's Zander. Not yet, but it's the best step forward yet I've seen from this team this year. Yes. That's kind of what we said the whole first hour. Yes. Dude. Here's my takeaway from this. Okay? Here's my takeaway from it. You have the players and the ability, but can you do it every week? Here's something I want you to get. Look how long it's taken me. It's taken me 14 games to call you the best defense in football. And Vic says the same thing that I do. We echo each other. Okay? We echo one another. We thought it was going to be around week 12, somewhere in there, but we know we're looking at a little bit. And there's no question they've grown quicker. You know, I was making this, SILZ, we need Zander to make the crow. No, I'm not eating any fucking crow. You've won dick on December 16th. You've won nothing. Crow is when you win the Super Bowl, dude. Not when you fucking win a game against Pittsburgh. Act like a champion, guy. Do your job. You don't get victory parades for beating Pittsburgh. You get victory parades down Broad Street when you win in New Orleans. Act like it. These fucking weekly trophies you want are ridiculous and dumb. And inexperienced sports talkers do that. Okay? I mean, you can always tell when you're listening to somebody like over at 97.5 or what have you, talking about this being, and you're like this. Obviously, he hasn't done this very long. Lions still your pick for the Super Bowl? Yeah, I'm going to stick with them. I'm not changing that. Yeah. I mean, until proven otherwise wrong. Yeah. They're making the playoffs. They've already qualified. I mean, look, they're beat up. Absolutely. But I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. Absolutely. Okay. So you believe 60 minutes of football? I don't. Because last week I saw you in an awful football game against Carolina with far lesser talent. Then this week I saw you do. Who are you? Which are you? Which team are you? That team that farted around with Carolina, or the team that put that performance up against Pittsburgh? Who are you? Let me say this. Is this roster better than I thought it was? Yes. Guys, please hit the like button. Thank you guys so much, man. David Montgomery confirmed out for the season. Dan Campbell said he's getting surgery. Brutal loss. Brutal loss for the Lions. He was having a sensational year. Now, what they have, though, is they have another back that's gaining 1,500 yards. But when you take that dual threat running back away, you take a dynamic away from that offense for sure. You can't lose talent like that. Losing David Montgomery is probably the equivalent of losing Devontae Smith for the year. Okay, or maybe AJ for the Eagles. That's how big that loss is. And on defense, it would be, when they lost Aiden Hutchinson, it would be like losing Jalen Carter. Okay? They have lost two significant injuries to both sides of the football. Aiden Hutchinson and now David Montgomery. David Montgomery was having a fabulous season. That's a massive loss. And does that knock them down a peg? Hey, usually I do my top 10 teams on Tuesday. There's no doubt. I mean, I'll bury the lead here for Tuesday. Does that drop them below Detroit? No doubt. And after the loss, Allen was spectacular against that defense. He was spectacular. Then again, he's been spectacular all year long. And one of the things we predicted that he would be better without Diggs has happened. He's better. It's spectacular. I mean, you can't lose players like that and think you're still going to be in the. Then again, remember something. You lost him in 17. You lost a left tackle, a linebacker, and a guard, I believe, and a quarterback, and won the Super Bowl. Okay? This is going to come down to Brad Holmes and the kind of depth that they have up there in Detroit on whether or not they can win the war of attrition. Remember I told you? Remember the number one thing that I told you? Guys, please hit the like button. The number one thing I told you, running through the tape right now, And being healthy is easily the most important thing right now. Obviously, home field, he's right there with that. SILZ, the difference yesterday was crossing patterns and slants over 25-yard throws down the sideline. The quarterback didn't get better. The passing attack fit SILZ skills better. Jalen Hurts thrives on quick decisions. Bob, I'm going to disagree with you here, and I usually don't. I think the up-tempo is what made him better yesterday. I think they ran the same passes, and I think they did a lot more just in the fact of what Tom Brady did. Look, you guys may not like Tom Brady as a broadcaster, but Tom Brady laid it out for you on what made Hurts more effective when they kicked up the tempo. You know what he said? Did you hear what he said? He goes, it gives defenses better options at seeing where the pre-snap place to go with the ball is when you go up tempo, because defenses have to make their decisions quicker. It was a brilliant comment. I'm not celebrating, but I just watched Saturday's stream and it was egregious. I'm not a Jalen fanboy, but you were having a blast. How much did analytics play into this game? A ton. Pass the ball. That was one of the weakest parts of the Pittsburgh defense was the secondary. And I think hey, Bob, I'm not saying you're wrong completely, Bob, but I'm saying when they went up tempo, because if you remember right, when they were not going up tempo, Brady started complaining that he was holding the ball long and he was getting sacked, and Pittsburgh was rallying on defense and getting to him. Kellen Moore, who everybody, even on my network, is saying that, he's not doing the right. He kicked up the tempo. And they sped up the tempo, and the passing game got going again. That's the offensive coordinator doing that. That was the OC doing that. Because when you kick it into high tempo, you can't make substitutions. Brady's going to get better as a broadcaster, but his brain telling you what to see and look for, Tony Romo has no fucking clue what he's talking about. You're going through the mind of a guy who won 7 Super Bowls and has been to 10 of them. And you're listening to him, and they're asking him why. And the guy asking him, why do you want to go up tempo? Because it tells you where to throw the ball quicker. Because defenses have to make their decisions quicker, which means they have to line up and get to their alignment. It's brilliant. I've never heard a quarterback say that on TV. Well, you want to go up tempo to put these guys in positions because they have to get to their defensive spots quicker. And you know your pre-snap read where it is, and you know where your landmark is right away. And that was key in getting all those passes completed to Devontae into AJ. It was that when they went up tempo, you're wearing out the defense. You're putting more tempo on them as well. You can't do any substitution. It's really great. It was well thought out. When Pittsburgh started getting some momentum and getting pass rush going, they went like this. They scrapped the 7-step. And they went up tempo. Boom, 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 boom. Brady kept saying it. Get the ball out of his hand. Get the ball out of his hand. He's better when you get the ball out of his hand. Don't let him sit back in the pocket. Get the ball out of his hand. He's better at it. He was right. Brady was telling you what Kellen was going to do 10 minutes before. Got to get that ball out of his hands faster. He's holding on to it. He took his 3rd sack. All of a sudden, they up-tempoed it. And you never saw it again. You never really saw the pressure. Okay, like you saw in the middle of the first, and then you got into the second. When Pittsburgh made it closer, you never saw it after the second quarter again. My opinion. What do you learn playing professional about life? I played in high school and college and learned a lot of life lessons in the pros. What do you learn that you don't learn on other levels? Got to take care of your own business. You got to find your own rhythm and your own routine. You have to take everything. Here was my failure, JB. Okay? You have to take everything you do, no matter what it is. You can't lift your head up and look around and celebrate. You've got to keep your head down. And sometimes you're a miserable human being. In college, I kept my head down the whole time. Grindstone, reading playbooks, watching film, doing all that. The money sometimes blinds you and the fame blinds you, and you look up a few times, and before you know it, play gets by you. So if you really love something good enough, stick to it. Never take days off. Have a passion for it. I mean, why do you think I never take days off? I take days off because I love something. And I've loved broadcasting for 40 years. There was a stretch of 10 years of my radio career I never took a day off. I never took a day off because it's a privilege to talk to you. It's a privilege. It's not a right. I mean, it's a privilege. Okay? Anytime you play pro sports, it's a privilege when you get a paycheck for playing pro sports. My grandfather was a fisherman and a fireman and worked in a cement yard. He was owed nothing. He went to work because he had a passion for his family. And I was afforded the chance to play professional football for 7 years. Not at the NFL, in the NFL and other leagues. But I made over $2 million playing professional sports. It's a privilege. Totally is. It's a privilege doing this. My job is to talk sports to you, and we can have a cool time, take you away from all the misery. Dude, that's what fucking this is about. This is a passion of mine. Pro sports, get this. I'll tell you something else pro sports teaches you. Don't look up too quick because you look up, someone takes your chair. Gone. Yeah, regrets the rest of your life. What happened to my chair? Next guy took it. Fast as you can take. Fast as it goes, like that. Absolutely. Now, again, here's my overall what's happened here now you're 12-2. I've come to this realization about you. Okay? You're now almost close to graduating. You're almost close to graduating. You're right here. Here is, my wife coaches rugby. And my daughter played in a national championship game last year. And I talked to her coaches over the weekend. They came to see my daughter play. My daughter plays professional rugby now. Coaches came up to me. You know what they said to me? We shit the bed in the national title game, didn't we? And you know what I said to them? Yeah. And you go, what were your takeaways against Stanford and why we lost? I go, that game was over in the first 8 minutes. And he goes, why? I go, you were doing things that you guys never did all year. You see the brass ring and you want to reach out and grab it without doing the things that got you there. And you want to miss steps. Okay? This team has grown this year, especially defensively. Has grown beyond anything. And that's the coaching of Clint Hurt, the linebacker coach, Vic Fangio, all of that has grown unbelievably. Every position has grown. Every single position has grown. That's coaching and player development. Okay? It's coaching and player development. And he goes, well, you know, we don't want to go down that same route. And this is for the Eagles, too, what I'm going to say. Zander's boy, Nick Saban, said something about a month and a half ago that I thought was just essential in coaching. And I told my wife this. And to me, the greatest thing that I've ever seen in my life is what I heard by Nick Saban, what he said about winning championships. Here you are, Eagle fans. You're right here. He said this, when I was at Michigan State, it was all about winning. It was all about, hey, I used to get so excited. And when we fucking failed or lost, I'd get all over the guys' asses. And it just was about winning and losing. This is why Nick says this shit all the time. When you practice your process has nothing to do with winning ball games. Process has everything to do with the championship mentality. You practice hard, you study hard, you watch film, you do all the things that everything in your process that you have a standard set where there is nothing that is not looked at. Your coaches are high energy, the players are high energy. Nothing is not unturned, and you're looking at a week-to-week thing. If you practice that process, the results will be there for you. Nick Saban became a better football coach after he got away from looking at this game this weekend is the most important game you can have as a win. No, it's not. John Wooden told me this years ago. I never practiced anything different or said anything different if I was playing against the University of Southern California or if I was playing in a national championship game against Kentucky. I didn't do anything different. We worried about our process. Those are championship football teams. Take care of yourself. Worry about yourself. Don't worry about Kansas City and Detroit. Fuck them. Let them worry about their... Hey, by the way, I know some of you in here are doing this. Hey, well, look at the... Hey, fuck Detroit. Who cares what their injury situation is? Worry about you. Worry about you. Because when you start doing shit like that, oh, we're better than them. But you don't know that yet. You won a Super Bowl with backups. It can happen to you too, you getting knocked off. Don't think it can't. You knocked off Brady with backups. Did you not? Did the Philadelphia Eagles knock off Brady and Belichick with backups at key positions? If I were you, I wouldn't be going like, well, Detroit lost it. I'd not hang in there with that one. That's not going to determine whether or not you win a Super Bowl or not. You won in 2017 without Jason Peters and an MVP Super Bowl quarterback or an MVP quarterback. I mean, if I were you, you better use your own history. Don't go into any game going, shit, you walked into Carolina, thought the same shit, and almost got beat by them. Right? Right? Don't fucking look around the league going, well, hey, you know, Detroit's lesser now. They've lost. Hey, if you want to believe anything, go back in your own history and what you did as an Eagles organization by beating Brady with backups. Here's another one for you. So Kevin O'Connell, in my opinion, he's a slam dunk NFL Coach of the Year. I think Minnesota plays tonight, right? I think there's 2 NFL Monday night games tonight. They play the Bears tonight, right? So Kevin O'Connell is taking a backup quarterback and a journeyman quarterback in Sam Darnold, right? They're 11-2. So you mean to tell me after tonight, a guy is going to have a journeyman quarterback who was a backup at the beginning of the year, and they drafted a first rounder in J.J. McCarthy to be the starter, and they're going to go 12-2 tonight? They beat the Bears tonight. They're 12-2. That's right. Big picking. You got Minnesota floating under the radar at 12-2. You're going to have 3 teams in the NFC potentially after tonight 12-2. And some are going to go like this. Well, the Eagles are better. Okay. Well, there's a reason we play 60 minutes of football every week. That guy, Kevin O'Connell, has done the best coaching job of any coach this year. He's taking a journeyman backup guy, and you're going to go 12 wins? You know what their win total was at the beginning of the year with the guys in Atlantic City and Vegas? 6. 6. Don't take anything for granted. Worry about your business. That's what champion. Do you really believe that the Eagle coaches and everybody are worried about Detroit or any of them other guys? They're not worried about them fucking guys right now. They don't even know what they're doing. Here, this is what I'd be concerned about right now coming out of this Steeler game. Okay? This is what I'd be concerned about. Continuing the improvement of the passing game. Okay? Is that an anomaly? Because you've only done it one game. Okay? Get this. And here's another guy. Apologize for fucking what? Explain to me what you've won. Apologize for what? What have you won to apologize for? What have you won? Nobody's won anything. Right now, you're fighting to win. Dude, you say this. 12 wins so far? Congratulations. Good job. 12 wins means dick. You won nothing. Last year, Baltimore won 14 games. You know what they did? They went home with nothing. Dude, this is not about winning T-shirts on winning AFC North crowns. This is about winning the parade. Get this. I now have realized, I don't know how many years I've been doing this, but I now realize there's certain people that like to win the day. I like to win the war. Okay? Winning the day, that's great and all. I want to win the war. Winning battles, that's like a heavyweight fighter. Hey, I won round 1 and 2. Funny, you got knocked out in round 3. What happened? Yeah, because I'm looking to win the fight. I get George Foreman's mentality. George was never in a fight looking to win rounds. He was in the fight to knock your ass out and win the fight. You got to pick what you want to be in life. You want to win a round? Or do you want to win the fight? Ask yourself. Okay? Hey, get this. SILZ, you're going to lose this war. You doubt the Eagles too much, and it's led to your full disrespect. Dude, if you think that making a mandate that you fucking win it all or nothing, and that's my standard, congratulations if you win the Super Bowl. But right now, you haven't won fucking anything. Nothing. Full disrespect. The football team has gotten better because the offense has farted around all year long. You've had one game offensively where you look like the talent you have assembled. That's underachieving. Okay? That's underachieving. Okay? So again, at the end of the day, we're talking, no, Pittsburgh and now moving forward. All right. By the way, Gary Cobb will be with us at 4:30. Without further ado, hey, by the way, man, that was a really great pre- and post-game show. The halftime show was awesome as well. JAKIB, our pre- and post-game shows are absolutely off the charts. We really appreciate everybody coming aboard. With all that being said, here we are. We got our mandates. Hit that like button. The co-host, the Birds 365, it is our friend, Big Z, Zander Krause.
What's going on, Big SILZ?
All good, brother.
How you living, baby?
I'm living. We're living
You like
good.
the backwards Kango? Like Mr. Jalen Hurts?